Hello artists, welcome to Mrs. Austin's Kitchen. So today we are going to be making salt dough. So you are going to need a few ingredients for this project. You are going to need salt. I have just Wegmans iodized salt. You also will need flour. Today I'm using all-purpose bleach white flour. I have also though seen people use whole wheat flour. And I haven't tried it myself yet, but there is also an organic coconut flour that is gluten-free if we have any friends with gluten allergies. So all of these are options that you can get at the store to use with your salt, and then you will need just a little bit of water from the sink. So I have 3/4 cup of flour, a 1/2 cup of salt, and then I used a 1 cup measuring cup to pour just a little bit of water in. I don't have a lot in there yet. We want to pour in the water gradually, which means slowly, so that we aren't making our salt dough too sticky. First thing I'm going to do before I start mixing though, I'm going to roll my sleeves up. I suggest you do the same. Mrs. Austin also is not wearing a smock because she's used to getting messy. If you don't want to get messy, make sure your smock is on. I'm now going to have a wooden spoon and a bowl, and I'm going to start pouring my ingredients into the bowl. So I'm going to put my dry ingredients in first. So I dropped in my flour, and now I'm dropping in the salt. And I'm going to stir that just a little bit. And then I'm going to gradually start adding the water in. And I might need to run to the sink, which is right behind me, and get some more water, depending on how my consistency is. So we want it to be kind of thick and chunky, like if you've ever made cookies before, kind of like cookie dough. Or another example would be more of like a Play-Doh type consistency. So you can see mine is not really sticking together very well yet. It's very crumbly, so that means I need to add a little bit more water. So I'm going to do that now. And again, I'm just doing little by little because it's easier to add more than to have too much. If you do end up getting too much and it is too sticky, then you just need to sprinkle in some more flour and salt into your bowl to kind of thicken it back up again. So I can see that I need a teeny bit more water. So I'm gonna go grab some from the sink. Be right back. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more water and just a teeny bit. I don't wanna do too much because again, it will all stick to my finger. So you can kind of see that it's sticking a little bit better right now. So this is a pretty good consistency. So I'm going to now pull it out, make it into a ball, and I have some clay now, dough. Again, you can see it's not really coming off on my hands and sticking too much. You can see a teeny bit. So maybe I would sprinkle like a little bit more flour. So I'm gonna sprinkle, you can see on my other screen here, a little flour onto here, just to make it a little bit less sticky, because we don't want it to be sticking all over the place. There we go, that's a little bit better. So you can see it's kind of like Play-Doh, where you can push into it and it doesn't really come off. All right, artists, so now that I have a ball of salt dough here, what I'm gonna do is start pressing it out on my counter, and I'm gonna use the heel of my hand, which is this part right here, to kind of push down to make this into a big flat pancake. And I'm gonna keep flipping it as I'm pressing to make sure that it's not gonna stick to my countertop. And then what I'm going to do is I have my leaf already picked out here from my yard, and I'm gonna pick the bumpy side. So the side where all the details really are on my leaf, not the smooth side on the top. And I'm gonna place that right in the center of my salt dough. I'm gonna smooth my leaf out here. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take my rolling pin and I'm gonna roll right over my salt dough and roll my leaf in there really nice and good. And then I'm going to very carefully grab by the stem of my leaf and kind of peel it up. And there we go. I have my leaf print. So next week we will watercolor paint these and add some more details. I'm gonna go take this and set this onto some wax paper now to dry for next week, and I'll see you then, artists. Bye.